Have you ever had that feeling that you are meant to help people, that there's something that you've lived through, you've gone through a transformation, or you've learned something new and you're really passionate about it? And you know that by sharing it, it's going to help your audience or it's going to make someone's life easier. It's going to make their journey better in some way. But as soon as you get that spark of an idea or you feel that inspiration and that call to want to share it with your audience or to introduce it to your clients, another little voice comes in and it says, "Who am I to do this? Am I even qualified?" Maybe you've gone through a huge shift in your business or in your life. Maybe you've experienced some type of transformation. You've changed how you work. You have a new perspective shift. Maybe you've added a new modality to your services, or you've changed the way that you create. And now you feel called to share it with the world and help others get the same transformation that you've experienced in your life. But the moment you start to talk about it, your mind starts listing all of the reasons that you shouldn't. Things like you don't have the right degree, you're not certified, you haven't been doing it long enough, you don't have a big enough audience. So instead, you hold back, you water your message down, and you keep waiting to feel ready. And I totally get this. I remember back in 2020, a mentor of mine, George Cal, he asked me to teach a visual marketing and design course to his audience. And my first thought was excitement. I was like, wow, what a great opportunity. Like, this is going to be so fun. And then it wasn't long before the doubt kicked in, and my brain started to even question if George meant to ask me in the first place. In my mind, I was thinking, like, surely he has more experienced colleagues that he could have asked. Like, why did he pick me? I don't understand why he chose me to teach this to his audience. I haven't been doing this very long. I don't have a degree in graphic design. I'm not even a real designer. And I started to panic, and I even considered turning the opportunity down. But then I remembered, no, this is how growth feels: uncomfortable. I was stepping into a space that I didn't feel ready to be in, and this was my brain and my body's way to keep me safe. Thankfully, I ended up teaching the class. I got amazing feedback from the participants in this class. I got amazing feedback from George. I got incredible experience. I got feedback about the content and how helpful it was. And I also got feedback on ways that I can improve it for the next time. So it was such a beautiful experience. And what I learned from that is, one, my students, the people that I was teaching to, George's audience, they didn't need a design professor to teach them about visual marketing and design. They didn't care about in-depth color theory, or they didn't need to know the history of typography. They just wanted somebody to help them feel confident about creating visuals for their business that were beautiful and engaging and aesthetic without being overwhelmed. They didn't need perfection, they needed permission. And that's what this episode is about, is just realizing that you don't need to be a 10 out of 10 expert to make a difference in somebody else's life. You just need to be a few steps ahead, walking beside the people that you want to help, clearing the path for them, and saying, "Hey, I've been here before. Let me share with you what's helped me." So many coaches, creatives, and solopreneurs, they stay silent and they don't get their voice out there. They don't share their message. They don't get their offering out into the world, and they stay quiet because of this. They think that credibility only comes from credentials, or, the three little letters that you have after your name, or the years of experience behind you. They wait for that ready feeling, but that ready feeling almost never comes. And the heartbreaking part of all of this is that there's somebody out there right now who is searching for someone just like you, for somebody who has a similar experience, somebody who has a voice like yours, somebody with your authenticity, somebody with your energetic signature. There are people out there right now who are waiting to learn and to be guided by someone just like you. Not the perfect expert, but somebody who gets it. Somebody real who understands what they're going through and what they're experiencing. When we hide behind self-doubt, we unintentionally keep the people who are meant to work with us, the people that we're meant to help, from ever finding us. The truth is, perfection doesn't build trust. Relatability does. So I'm going to give you 3 mindset shifts to help you overcome this feeling of self-doubt. If you are in a situation where you want to share, maybe it's a new group program for coaching, maybe it's a new course that you want to share with your audience, maybe it's just some content ideas for YouTube or your podcast or Instagram, and you're hesitating because you don't feel qualified enough to teach. You don't feel like you have the credibility behind you to share your voice in this way. So I'm going to give you 3 mindset shifts that you can make, things that have helped me, things that I know have helped others who struggle with this too, because this is a very common thing. This sneaky little thing of self-doubt keeps so many highly sensitive solopreneurs stuck and invisible online, afraid to share their voice out of fear they're not experienced enough. So the first one is your people, the people who are truly the best fit for your work, they don't want a 10 out of 10 expert. That gap is way too far. When somebody is really struggling, they don't want to be taught by somebody who is miles ahead of them. They want to be guided by somebody who still remembers what it's like to be where they are. It's like you being a novice hiker going for a hike on a mountain. You don't want the guide to be at the top of the mountain shouting down directions to you and telling you what to watch for and where to step. You want the guide just a few steps ahead, maybe even walking alongside you saying, watch your step here. This little area is slippery. Watch for those rocks. You know, the climb is hard, but it's worth it. Your clients want that too. They want someone who's been there. They want someone who truly gets it and who can help them navigate the next few steps with more confidence, ease, and maybe help them have some perspective shifts that they hadn't thought about. Somebody who can support them along the way. And your clients want that. They want someone who's been there. They want somebody who gets it and someone who is just a few steps ahead or maybe walking alongside of them to help them get through the next few steps with clarity and confidence. So mindset shift number 2 is to remember that you don't need to be at the summit. You just need to be a few steps ahead. This kind of ties into what I was just saying in that the guide doesn't lead from above. The guide doesn't lead from 25 steps ahead of their students. They lead beside. They've walked the trail enough times to know where to slow down, where to step over things, what to avoid, and what kinds of things can trip you up along the way. They already have the roadmap. They're not above their people, they're walking alongside of them. And that's you. That's your role as a mentor, as a practitioner, as a coach, as a healer, whatever your business is, that is your job. It's your job to walk alongside them, to help clear the path, and to give them the confidence to move forward. When I was teaching that visual marketing and design course for George's audience, I wasn't lecturing on, design theory and brand psychology. I was just showing people how to start. I was giving them just the essential things that they could use to help them elevate their designs a little more, to help them avoid some mistakes that might turn off potential clients, and to help them open Canva and not be intimidated by using the platform. I wanted them to be able to create something beautiful and aligned for their business without overthinking it. That's all they needed. Credibility comes from embodiment. When you've actually lived the transformation, your story carries so much more weight than any certificate or degree ever could. And when you share from that place, not as the expert shouting down the mountaintop from the summit, but as the guide who walks beside them, people feel safe, they feel inspired, and they feel seen. Okay, so mindset shift number 3 is you don't need to know everything. You just need to make their first few steps lighter. So by this point, I think you can see a theme here is that you just need to be a few steps ahead of your people. Your people, they don't need the full map. The full map is overwhelming. They just need a flashlight shining the light on the next step that it is that they need to take. And that's what you provide, a gentle light showing them the next step and showing them what's possible for them. And that's what makes it feel doable for people. It's not overwhelming, and they get the comfort of knowing they don't have to do it alone. That's what builds trust, not being perfect, but being present, consistent, and real for your people. Okay, so I want to give you some practical ways that you can move forward to help make this tangible for yourself, because confidence is going to build through action, of course, not thinking about it, but by actually doing this for yourself. So the first one is to reclaim your language. And instead of saying things like, I'm not qualified, try saying, I'm experienced in this through my lived experience, because you are. Language matters. It helps to shape the story of what you tell yourself about being credible. The second thing is to start small. If you're still finding your footing with an idea, don't go all in right away. Start with maybe just a few one-on-one clients, or share your new ideas or what it is that you want to share with your audience in a smaller group setting so that you feel safe and comfortable sharing and putting this out into the world for your audience to benefit from. Each step and every time that you offer this, whether it's in a one-on-one setting, maybe it's starting small and just testing your idea out on Instagram, sharing a few things about what it is that you know, find a way that feels really safe for you to share it. And then every time you do this, it's going to help you stretch your confidence muscle. You're going to build more clarity about your message, and it's going to help you gain more experience in this topic so that you can reach a wider audience as you start to get a little more comfortable. The third one is to share your story publicly. If there's something that you want to share with your audience, that you want to teach, and you're feeling like you're not really qualified, start with just sharing the turning point of what the transformation was for you. What helped change you? Start sharing that everywhere. If you're on YouTube, create videos about it. Update and revise your about page to include it there. Create some reels or carousel posts around it and put it on Instagram. Talk about it and share your story, because that's going to be the bridge to invite others in. Remember, your credibility is going to grow through consistency, care, and connection with your audience, not perfection. People will find you credible when they feel like they can trust you. And you do not need a degree or a certification for that. When they feel your heart, when they feel your honesty, when they feel your integrity, they'll want to work with you over others because they feel that bond with you. Just remember, you don't have to be the expert at the top of the mountain. You just need to be the guide who's walking alongside of them, walking the same path, sharing what's worked for you, and reminding them that they can do it too. Because your lived experience is your credibility. Like, that is your street cred. You've already done the hardest part. You've lived it. You've learned from it. And now you're ready to help somebody else do the same. So start with where you are, help one person, share your story, keep walking. The trust, confidence, and clarity is going to come with every step you take.